Welcome back to this week's episode of Dirt Life Detecting. First off, I hope that you and your family and your loved ones had a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We're done with 2023 and it's now 2024. As you can see around me, we had Snowmageddon earlier this week. 11 inches of snow dumped Monday night throughout the day on Tuesday, and that has put a halt to the metal detecting and the digging in the dirt here in my neck of the woods. But don't worry, I thought, what better time to take and show you all of the finds from 2023. So that's what I've done right now. This is a wrap-up of 2023. And I've got plenty of videos from my fall digs in queue to get us through January, February, and early March. So keep coming back every week for videos. Welcome back to Dirt Life Detecting. I had an absolutely marvelous 2023, so I thought I'd share everything with you in a wrap-up video. Here is the clad. We had $3 bills that were obviously found blowing in the wind. Surface finds, you can't find those with a metal detector, but you can find those when you're out metal detecting. Found $10 coins this year and two 50-cent pieces. I found 858 clad quarters this year for a total of $214.50. I found 832 dimes this year for a total of $83.20. Found 587 nickels this year for a total of $29.35. And a whopping 2,070 pennies this year for a total of $20.70. That doesn't even count the stinking zinkins that were thrown away in the trash. All right, that makes a grand total of 4,362 pieces of clad for a grand total of $361.75. I always save this clad all year long, and then at the end of the year, in January, I take it in, and I am a member of a credit union that has a coin counting machine, and they gladly take all of this coinage and I put it in my special metal detecting account. All right, let's keep going. All right, now on to the good stuff when it comes to coins. I found 78 wheat pennies this year. 18 of them are from 1939 earlier. The oldest is 1912. And then 60, these are the ones in the 40s, these are the ones in the 50s, and then one of my more interesting finds this year, which no, it is not a wheat penny, it's this little dinky penny right here, a 1964 tiny penny, and they made those, I think, only in 1964. Let me know if you know any different. On to the silver this year. There's the silver. I found 37 silver coins this year, including a Walking Liberty $50, a Kennedy $50 that is 40% silver. Found 7 war nickels this year, and that's by far the most war nickels I've ever found. Found 16 Mercury dimes and 12 Roosevelt dimes, all right? Found 6 Buffalo nickels. Unfortunately, all but one of them are dateless. I was able to get a date of 1930 off of one, and then possibly a 1950, but not for sure on the other. And then 7 foreign coins. And of the 7 foreign coins, those 2 are from Poland. The one in the middle that has a hole in it is from Lebanon. And here is a 1937 Canadian nickel. Love the beaver on that. There we go. That's a close-up of the 2 Grazi and the 20 Grazi from Poland, the Lebanese coin, which is 1940s, I do believe. I looked that up. All right. And the did I say 37? 1957 Canadian nickel. Okay, now on to some of the vintage finds for the year. 9 vintage keys. 15 pieces of vintage jewelry here. All right. Love this locket. It still opens up. On the back side it says love forever. It's got a rose in the middle of a heart. All right. Of the vintage keys, that's a vintage railroad key for a switch key. This right here, you've seen in a video already. That is a $200 relic because that tin is so rare. All right. Found 7 tokens, vintage tokens, including this one from 1933, Ford 30 Years of Excellence token. Really love that. All right. Look Magazine, 25 years. This is a token from the 1960s, 1970s, actually an Italian telephone booth token. All right. And then here is my favorite for the year, probably, a 1930s, 1940s Des Moines Railway Company trolley token. All right. And then love finding these couple of old vintage pocket knives and some vintage escutcheon pieces, a couple of D-buckles. Don't know what this is. Don't have any clue. It looks like it's been smashed, but there is all sorts of fancy on there. If you have any idea what it is, it looks like it was maybe in a circle at one time. It's connected at the bottom there. I just don't have any idea, but it's just full of fancy. So, and just a bunch of interesting stuff there. All right, found 27 buttons that I consider to be vintage buttons. Of course, these aren't the really old buttons from the 16, 17, and 1800s that they find on the East Coast, but these are buttons that would be from the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, maybe even the 60s here in Iowa. 6 neckerchief slides from Scouts. I'm sure that that one is probably somewhat vintage. Oh yeah, the best button right there, general service button. All right, and just a few of these other buttons that have some real character to them. Just kind of interesting to save them and compare them to other buttons you've found in the past. Now on to my tokens. I found 32 tokens this year, all right, that I consider to be the non-precious, non-vintage tokens. Found 5 crushed pennies up there in the upper right. This is my favorite non-vintage token, the Mom I Love You token that I featured recently. And whoops, got to do that because we do that live, right, in the digs. And this one, I assume this came off of a brand new pair of Nike shoes, but a Nike token. All right, there you go, tokens for 2023. So what can you find metal detecting? Well, you can find 12 bracelets, 3 of which are sterling silver, and 13 necklaces, one of which, this one right here, is a Kendra Scott necklace that retails for $100. So there are the 3 sterling silver bracelets and the Kendra Scott necklace. And what else can you find metal detecting? Well, you can find 67 earrings, 10 of which are silver. All of the silver ones are right down here in the front row. Possibly 2 gold earrings. They sure look like gold to me. They're not marked. I've tested them. They don't test out. I'm not sure my tester is working well. So you can also find 43 pendants. 5 of which are crosses, 3 of which are gold, 9 of which are silver, and 6 of which are skeleton keys. The kids really must love the skeleton keys nowadays. All right. And all the bits and baubles, odds and ends that you can find. Quite possibly my oddest find of the year. Probably a silver capped tooth. And another odd one, a lead Star Wars warrior. Here's one of my favorites, a US Navy. I think this was probably attached to a cap. I'm not for sure. Oh yeah, there's an odd one, the mustache. Handlebar mustache. All right, there you go. Oh, guess what? The rings are next. All right, set a new record this year for rings. 131 rings total for the year. There you see the non-precious rings, the right column and the middle column. And over here on the left column are the precious rings. There are 23 silver rings there, 8 gold rings, and a Patrick A. Dare designer ring valued at $300. One ring that is toast. So there you go. A new record for rings for the year, 131. All right, just a few last bits and baubles here. Showing these because I found these interesting. Those are early date Hot Wheels, late 1960s, right around 1970. All right, and Alcatraz whistle. So just some of the odds and ends that you'll find metal detecting. Oh yeah, 4 pieces to what obviously at one time was a Tootsie car. So, all right, there you go. That's the wrap up for 2023. Don't forget, Dirt Life Detecting, gotta love it. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel and give me a thumbs up for this video if you liked it. Hope you enjoyed 2023 and Happy New Year to you. 2024 is here.